Hello again guys, and welcome to episode 14 of Dent Station. I don't think I'll get many trains running this session. I've got quite a lot planned for today, and I'd set the trains up but I'd missed a section, so I set them up for the following hour. I've got to take them all off now. But theoretically there should be 7 trains running in this hour between 5 and 6 PM. But we may get 3 or 4 done, and then we'll have to finish off next week. I've had a few projects on. I haven't been in here all week, too cold. It takes about 3 hours to warm this place up. The biggest project on the go is this timetable sequencing. Not one for liking a train that's gone 200 miles. The locomotive appears again in 5 minutes. It doesn't ring true to me. So I've devised a timetable sequencing. Still in its infancy, but we're getting there. A bit of tweaking to do here and there. Based on an old British transport film, which I've tried to find on YouTube, but can't seem to locate it, where it showed the British Railways Board setting out timetables. I must have seen this film 30 years ago, and this little snippet stuck in the head. So I've used that principle, and I'll show you that now. It's easy to follow. It's just that, you know, trying to gel things together and make sense of it all. It looks a mess. It looks like a bit of abstract art, but you know, it's behind me now. So we'll go through that in a minute. I've also done the card system is completed now. I've got some stands for that. I've got another rack to make for the locomotives, you know, where they go to Carlisle or Leeds or wherever, and then they don't come back for at least 4 or 5 hours. So that's the principle. So we'll start off showing you the new timetable thing, and then we'll work up to see if we can get some trains running. I'm sure that's what you want to see. Okay, I haven't done any weathering either, by the way. Still haven't finished those locomotives off. And one other thing, being in the house most of the week because of the weather, got tempted on eBay and I've got myself another 8F. Only snag is I've already got it, so it's got to be renumbered. So I've located a few. I've got some 8F numbers on a model master transfer sheet, and I've got several from the Liverpool area, Carnforth, Rosegrove, and the Manchester area from my allocations listings. So I'll pick one of those and we'll see which one it's going to be in due course. That won't be this week either. So we'll get on with this. So it's number 14 in the series up to now. Show you the timetable first, and then we'll try and get a few trains running just to keep things happy. Yeah. Okay, thanks guys. So this is the original printed out working timetable. It gives you information of what trains are going where and what they are, etc. That is, you know, it's okay, but it's a bit difficult to pick the train you're working on at a glance. So the next section, the next answer to that was to do the timetable cards. So these were the timetable cards that I devised, and this was for the upline, and they sit in these racks and get taken out as the trains move on to later times in the day. These are the early ones starting here. That will have been excuse me, that will have been the last train that you would have saw in the last sequence on the upline. And then these are the downline. That gives you the timetable details. Again, that would have been the last train that you saw in the downline. So I've collated all that together, and the next thing is to work out the basic plan is to try and get basically locomotives, not too bothered about stock, but locomotives that don't return too early. So as I say, it's a bit like a bit of abstract art, colour coded. The blue lines are up goods workings, the pink lines are up passenger workings, and the green lines are down goods workings, and the yellow are down passenger workings. Dent is in the middle. It's only in pencil, so it's only a bit rough at the moment. Starts off at midnight, or a minute past, and we have Carlisle, and anything that's beyond Carlisle carries through. And at the bottom we go through a few destinations. There's Shipley, Skipton, Leeds, over there, sorry. Shipley, Skipton, Leeds, and then anything beyond Leeds is noted on the details down here. So then they follow through, and each hour is in reality about 100 mil away or 10 centimeters away. So I break it down to 15 minutes. It can be quite congested at times when you look at it. They're all passing through Dent, crisscrossing, missing each other by a couple of minutes. And that period there is quite intense. And a section like that where you've got one train definitely forms a return working, that's easy enough to work out. And then you have things like the long megs and stuff like this. That's an Appleby working, so that stops short. That's a long meg working. And hydrites. The pickup, that's where is the pickup? That's the pickup that we saw a few weeks ago. So it comes in from Skipton up to Dent, runs through, it takes about an hour to do its job, and then it heads back off to Carlisle. And in the opposite direction, which you haven't seen yet, there's the pickup which comes from Carlisle and goes off to Skipton. So it all ends up at midnight again, and total there are 88 down workings and 73 up workings. So it's got to be refined a bit. This was a rough, I might even try and get it on the computer if I can still read it. This was just a rough carry on, and the next thing to do to it is to work out timings. Well, I reckon if a local gets to Carlisle, it's at least a 4 to 5 hour turnaround, same at Leeds. But beyond that, I have to calculate a bit longer. But there will be quite a few locals that will come off local change at Carlisle. And the local change at Leeds was quite common because a lot of trains had reversals there. Right, so we'll try and get on with a few trains running. In fact, I'll show you this 8F first. That's probably a better plan. So this is the new 8F I've just purchased on eBay. I can't remember how many Hornby made, but a good local. Got one that won't pull skin off a rice pudding for some reason, but other than that it's fine. Kind of partial weathering, I think that was factory done. The only snag being, as I say, I've already got it. And it runs very nice. It's even got a characteristic squeak. Well, there we go. We'll get on with some timetabling, see how many trains I managed to get done. So the first train of part 14 is a Class 8 coal. It passes Dent around 1705 and it's a X1600 from Carlisle, Durham Hill to Skipton. And today it has a Clayton at the head. Loco numbers D8507 at the time allocated to King Mur. Late on, that's why it's in BR blue livery. I actually worked on a few members of this class when I served my time at St Rollops Works up in Glasgow. Being of small stature, I was always given the job of setting the valve clearances. Very awkward, very dirty. Still, job was a job. And before I started filming, I realised it had no head coat panels in, so I had to do that before I ran it. Sadly, they were an unsuccessful design, but they were nice local. I liked them. They don't have a disco in the cab, it's that big. And the first train that's in the down direction is a Class 3 power train from Cotton Hill and Salop to Law Junction outside Glasgow. Class 5, and today it's Black 5 44 999. And this is due to pass Dent at 5:15. First 4 wagons are the old Lima and Dura Arctic type carriers. Stripped down, repainted, better wheels on them. Still have the couplings to address, still have the massive couplings on them. I'll get there. Black 5 sounds like it needs an oiling. This is the X1055 from Pennyford to Court Bridge. Cement empties. A couple of Type 1s on it, Class 20s. The 8046, well, 8169 at the head and 8046 at the rear. Quite interesting mix of wagons on this. Press winds, press flows. I remember the name of the other now. Sam flows and the V tanks. So the next working is a northbound passenger, Bradford to Carlisle, Bradford Forster Square that is. It's the X1540. It's booked for a Class 6 locomotive. It does stop at Dent. Being from Bradford, there's normally several vans on this train. There was a lot of mail order that originated out of Bradford back in the 60s. Hence the amount of vans. This locomotive is a Jubilee class 460 45629, and this was the locomotive that started it all off for me. My cousin took me down to Corker Hill local sheds back in the early 60s, and this was the first locomotive I clapped my eyes on, and then got taught the rudiments of train spotting. So this is the next down working. Typical S&C, load of northbound and a load of southbound. You don't get a nice mix. It's a Class 5 general goods from it's the X1525 from Sturton and Leeds. Passes Dent at 1729 and it's just headed for Carlisle. Booked for a Class 6. Today it is a K1 62027. The penultimate working for this session is the X1633 from Skipton heading for Carlisle in the hands of a Class 101 DMU. And the blind does say Carlisle on it, and the opposite end of this one says Skipton. We'll be doing a return working at some point to Skipton.